Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to Accelerated Health Radio and TV. I'm your host, Sarah Banta. I'm a health coach, natural supplement expert, and a busy mom of 3. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below so you are notified every week of my new podcasts, Mondays and Tuesdays. And if you haven't already, join my free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. And I teach you on a daily basis with tips and tools to enhance your health. And you will be a part of a like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. Today, we are going to be talking about Bali Belly, or food poisoning in general. And it's funny because we're talking about Bali Belly, right? And it's something that actually happens when you travel, or traveler's diarrhea. But I'm someone that gets food poisoning, or used to, a lot in the United States. So this actually will apply to just traveling and getting food poisoning from, bad sushi, or just even some really high-end restaurants. You just don't know the quality of what's going on. But when you're traveling, the last thing that you want to face is getting sick with food poisoning, whether it's Montezuma's Revenge, Bali Belly, or just plain food poisoning. Traveler's diarrhea can affect anybody, especially those visiting developing countries. And to make matters worse, you don't want to depend on their maybe suboptimal medical care. You just don't know what's going on. So anyways, I remember going to Mexico as an 8th grader. I was probably about 14 years old. We stop and get some shrimp on the side of the road, and every single one of us in our party got sick. It was coming out of both ends, and in Mexico, the plumbing wasn't great, so you could only flush the toilet every 30 minutes. So it got a little tricky. And then we went to the hospital, and I'll never forget the nurse coming at my glute with a needle like this, just for an antibiotic. And it took me 5 days to feel somewhat normal. So we actually only got to enjoy 1 day of the vacation, and that is not what you want. So Bali Belly is just food poisoning. It is a complaint isolated to Bali, Indonesia, but it's the same as traveler's stomach upset that you can get anywhere. And that food poisoning is usually caused by consuming contaminated food or water. Unfiltered or untreated water can carry those pathogens, including bacteria, viruses, mold, and protozoa, and some that are not in the United States, so that the body really flips out when it gets attacked by these other pathogens. Usually Salmonella and E. coli are the most common threats. Now, like I mentioned, those two are in our food supply, and we actually have them in our body. Everybody does. But what happens if you have leaky gut or a sensitive system, those E. coli or Salmonella can just wreak havoc and overpopulate and overtake the good bacteria. So it's not just about preventing from eating the wrong things, but it's also getting the gut strong and the immune system strong so it can take care of those threats. In Bali, restaurant hygiene and sanitation has improved along with the other countries as well, especially since reopening after the pandemic, but there's still no sewage system, and drinking tap water will likely lead to getting that Bali Belly. Therefore, we take it granted for eating those uncooked vegetables and salads from a restaurant. Those can carry some risk because you have to be washing those vegetables, right? And even peeling oranges or bananas, as you're peeling them, your fingers are maybe getting inside to the fruit. You just never know. So be super careful. What are the symptoms? Nausea, stomach cramps, a mild temperature, loss of appetite, vomiting, diarrhea, loose stools, the body aches and pains, dehydration. So how do you avoid getting that traveler's diarrhea? First, only drink bottled water or filtered water. You don't want to be even using regular tap water for brushing your teeth. So use a filtered water or even just a bottled water. Don't use ice from unfiltered water in your drinks. And most of the time at bars or restaurants, they're just giving you regular tap water ice. So just have your drinks with no ice. Drink tea and coffee made with only filtered or bottled water. Make sure your plates from the restaurants are completely dried. Some places still have still wash their dishes with that unfiltered water. These are things that you don't normally think about and we take for granted in the United States. You want to avoid eating the raw or uncooked meats. You really need to be careful with even your animal protein. Don't eat foods from buffets that have been sitting out there at room temperature for a while. And that goes for the United States and then Las Vegas and all those awesome places with those huge, amazing buffets. Think about the way people are with their own hygiene. I mean, I've seen people in the markets with those big bins of nuts and granolas and stuff, and you're supposed to use the scoops, and they'll just take their fingers and put it in their mouth and like get slobber all over their hands and then put their hands again in another bin for a free taste. People don't care about you with their hygiene most of the time. So you have to really be careful. Avoid the unpasteurized dairy, shaved ice, street vendor foods. Like I said, when I went to Mexico, it was a street vendor that I got sick off of that bad shrimp. So how do we prevent Bali Belly? Accelerated silver. So preventing is better than the cure, but you can absolutely avoid getting Bali Belly by taking the right steps to ensure your body is prepared, and then also take the supplements when you get there. So the accelerated silver, I have one of my clients actually texted me this morning. She is in Bali and she forgot her silver. And she says, Sarah, I don't have Bali Belly, but I do have an ear infection, which you can just put the silver right in your ear. And she said she's kicking herself because she absolutely does not want to get put on antibiotics, but she doesn't have her silver with her. The accelerated silver is enhancing your immune system, is its ability to devitalize those foreign pathogens, including those that contribute to Bali Belly or food poisoning. Silver has been known for thousands of years as a natural antibiotic, antiviral, and antiparasitic agent. And when you're traveling to Bali, colloidal silver is cited as the leading treatment for Bali Belly, but it can be hard to find in Bali, and you just don't know the quality of the product. Now, even in the United States, I don't want to name names, but a lot of the colloidal silvers are dangerous. They're either extremely acidic or the particle size is like a boulder and can't get into the cells, or it's creating silver oxide. Now, if you think about iron and iron oxide, what does that do in the body? That's rust. So what is silver oxide doing in the body? So I'll just leave that there. But accelerated silver, what is so amazing about it is it's not just colloidal silver, it's colloidal and nano silver. And the nanoparticle size is between 1.8 nanometers and 8.8, which is very small, but it has some colloidal silver in there as well. And then, of course, it's enhanced with scalar frequencies. It is structured using phi ratio magnetic implosion technology. No other silver company does this. It has an alkaline pH of 8.0, where most of the silvers are acidic or neutral. It is microclustered water, or uses the microclustered water technology to lower the surface tension for better absorption. And no other silver company applies this to their silver. It's free. There's no free oxygen or air contamination during the manufacturing process, which is different than some other companies. And it contains bioinformational imprints using advanced scalar technology. So what that means, and here is the silver, I have it with me everywhere I go. It means that there are frequencies, and we talk about frequency healings. You can use the Genius Insight app. You can use the amp coil. There's the biocharger. There's PEMF devices. There's so many out there. Well, what we're doing with the accelerated silver and now the gold and the copper and the accelerated detox powder and the acceleradine is you actually enhance or program the supplement with healing frequencies. So it's like you're getting two supplements in one. You're getting the actual silver, but then you're getting frequencies programmed into the bottle that the water memorizes to enhance the efficacy of what the supplement's supposed to do. I recommend taking 1 to 2 bottles of the accelerated silver with you on your trips. Why? Because you're not going to be the only one that needs it. Someone else in your group is going to get sick and they're going to want it, and you're going to still want some for yourself. I recommend taking it 3 times a day when you're feeling great. If you feel that you may have eaten something off, then you can actually take it up to 9 times a day. No problem. I actually have a team member that lived in Bali for a while, and she had the accelerated silver with her for 4 months, never got sick once. So that is a true testimony. Next is the acceleradine iodine. So I know colloidal silver is talked about for Bali Belly, but where I'm going to go with this is there's a whole protocol, some other things that you can do to make sure that you're feeling good. And this is for your good, strong gut in the United States as well. And that's the acceleradine iodine. Iodine is known to kill parasites, bacteria, viruses. All those things lead to Bali Belly. Those foreign pathogens could be creating issues that lead to leaky gut, diarrhea, and digestive dysbiosis in general. The acceleradine will help with your gut health, but it will also improve your thyroid and metabolism. Why is that important? You want to be enjoying your trip, right? You want to have that energy to feel good and mentally feel good. It helps with depression, and it helps open up your pineal gland and give you that more in tune connection with your spiritual health. It helps reverse Hashimoto's, improves that mental clarity. It's able to cross that blood-brain barrier and actually kick out the toxins such as fluoride out of the brain, which is contributing to brain fog. So not only is it going to help you with those bad bugs from food poisoning and those foreign pathogens, but it's going to help you with your energy as well. Next is the accelerated detox powder. I carry this stuff with me wherever I go. Why? Because when you're traveling in the United States or out of the country, you might be eating or drinking things that you normally don't drink, right? So even just for alcohol, it soaks up the alcohol so you feel great the next day. Not that I'm promoting alcohol consumption, but it is a nice way to soak that up and enjoy the little extra drinks that you might have on your trip, but also help you feel great the next day. It's an organic formula. It coats the stomach and the intestinal lining, soaks up those foreign pathogens that cause Bali Belly and food poisoning, reduces inflammation, helps with bloat and regularity, alleviates issues like Crohn's disease and colitis, something that I had suffered from. It soaks up all those toxins throughout the day that cause the leaky gut and diarrhea. Taking accelerated detox powder will help prevent any gut pathogen from taking hold of the digestive system. So normally the dosage is 1 to 3 teaspoons at night. But if you feel like you got hit with something, take a tablespoon a couple times a day, and it will really go after it, soak it up, and help balance out that digestive system. Next is the Mega IgG 2000. This is one of my very favorite new supplements that I've actually started taking myself. And it kind of goes in there very gently just to soak up and sop up the bad stuff and that food poisoning. It is dairy free, and it supports that healthy digestion, detoxification, and gut barrier function. It soaks up those foreign pathogens that cause food poisoning before they wreak havoc. And it helps build up that mucosal system, which is where your immune system in that mucosal lining in the gut. Next is the supplements in the leaky gut bundle. I take these on a daily basis and just talked to a client today. He said he cannot believe the difference in the way his gut is. He has had gut issues for 20 years, has gone to multiple practitioners. No one has been able to figure it out. He's doing the Ascent Diet Cleanse and the Leaky Gut Bundle, and he said he has felt better never before. So it really is something that just seals that gut. It helps protect you. It helps seal it. And what it includes the Megaspore probiotic. And this is not a regular probiotic. Most probiotics have just a few strains, and then they overpopulate the gut with just a few. What this does, the Megaspore has a brain. It goes in and it reconditions the gut instead of reseeding it with probiotic strains that can't survive the digestion or colonize in the gut. And then it has a brain saying, okay, I need more of this, I need more of that, and it produces it. So it is great. I've been on it for over a year now, and it has changed my life. It really has been a game changer. It helps control the bad bacteria that lead to food poisoning, bloat, dysbiosis, and it grows the good bacteria. It's been shown to help with E. coli, salmonella, and H. pylori and more. And then you've got the Mega Pre. This reinforces the beneficial microbial changes that created by the Megaspore biotic. So it's kind of the food for the Megaspore. And then the Mega Mucosa protects the mucosal system from the gut pathogens that cause Bali Belly. So that mucosal system is extremely important for the human immune system. It contains 150 times more surface area than the skin. So what it is, if you think about it, when you have leaky gut, you've got holes in the intestinal lining. So even when you're eating that healthy food, it is getting into the bloodstream. The body has this huge over-exaggerated autoimmune response saying, I don't recognize this. Let's flare up and we need to go find out what it is. Now, if that's Bali Belly food poisoning, that is even going to be worse, right? So that Mega Mucosa is sealing the intestinal lining, really important. The beauty of the Mega Mucosa and the Mega Pre is they taste really good, and I put them in my drinks all day long. I really enjoy it. So that's just a bonus, but they really seal the gut. And even by taking the Megaspore and not doing the other two, the Mega Pre and Mega Mucosa, I've had people saying, the three of them seal that bloat, and just the Megaspore, I get a little bloat back, not as bad as if I'm not taking any of them, but that Mega Mucosa and Mega Pre really make a difference in sealing that gut and taking away the bloat. Next is the accelerated ancient salt. I also never go anywhere without this. Why? Because it tastes so good and I put it on all my food. But the reason you want it for traveling and for food poisoning, it is a strongly negative charged salt. So it's enhanced with those scalar frequencies. And because of that negative charge, it pulls out the positively charged toxins, parasites, and undigested fats. I've talked about the fact that ever since the spike protein and everyone being affected by COVID, a lot of people are having a hard time breaking down or digesting their fats and their proteins. The accelerated salt is helping that. It helps with the nausea and other symptoms from Bali Belly and from food poisoning. And it also helps properly hydrate the body when it's suffering from the dehydration associated with food poisoning. And it rehydrates the body at the cellular level. So that is where you get your energy. You don't get your energy from food necessarily. You get your energy from electrolytes and hydration. And by just drinking water, you can actually dehydrate the body. So that scalar charge further enhances its ability to detox the body and rebalance the body. It also helps soak up the heavy metals and the toxins and the radiation. With over 62 minerals in it, it helps with that rehydration. When you are dehydrated or when you have diarrhea, you become extremely dehydrated. So really important to have those electrolytes and improve the body, improve that energy, improve the bioelectrical function. Next is the quintessential 0.99. And Robert Slovak, who is the man responsible for bringing this supplement to the United States, was introduced to it in Brazil when he was severely sick, I believe from some sort of foreign pathogen or food poisoning. And just with this, he was able to get himself back to homeostasis. It supports homeostasis, rehydration, and normal digestion while eliminating excess water retention. And all of these factors are important for Bali Belly. And the quintessential is essentially the same consistency as your blood plasma. It comes from the ocean water. We come from the ocean. So it only makes sense that our blood plasma is the same consistency as the ocean. So it is essentially that ocean water diluted with natural alpine spring water to achieve that same consistency as the blood plasma. It consists of all of the needed electrolytes and minerals. On a regular basis, I take 3 of them a day. Why? Because I work out and I like to use my sauna, and sweating and detoxing, you need to replenish with the hydration of the electrolytes. That's why I use the wild lights, the quintessential, and the accelerated salt, all 3, because your body is so depleted of the magnesium and potassium and sodium, all of those needed electrolytes. Okay, so what else with food poisoning is really important, and how we get back to sealing that gut? Intermittent fasting, right? So when you stop eating for a couple hours during the day, the body says, okay, I'm not working on digestion. I'm going to go and trigger that autophagy, the cleaning up of the diseased and damaged cells, and I'm going to go use my fat stores for energy. I've got plenty of energy. I've got my acceleradine, and I'm now using the gut building leaky gut supplements to heal that gut. It's all strengthening your body's defenses from things like food poisoning, E. coli, salmonella. What makes intermittent fasting easier is the accelerated keto, right? You take your pills in the morning, 3 to 4 pills in the morning. For the rest of the day, you have amazing energy. Why is accelerated keto great when you're traveling? Because maybe you don't want to have that airplane food. Maybe your flight is going to be 3 hours longer, or you're delayed and you can't eat anything other than the McDonald's or the street vendor's food, right? So wouldn't it be amazing to not be hungry, or to be in the place where even if you're hungry, you still have physical and mental energy to do things until you get to a place where you can actually eat the food that you trust? I love being in ketosis when I'm traveling. I have a lot of clients that say, okay, Sarah, I want to do your cleanse, but I don't want to do it until after I travel. And I'm sitting here going, take the accelerated keto, take the cleanse supplements, maybe not do the liver flush portion while you're traveling, but the silver, the acceleradine, the electrolytes, the detox powder, and the accelerated keto. You're going to feel great while you're traveling, and you're going to take control of the food situation. You will be able to wait to eat when you're hungry, when you actually have good food that you can trust. Or maybe you get to a place where you can actually cook, and then you take the keto snacks or the high protein snacks with you for emergency. But what's so great, I'll never forget, I was in Mexico with a big group of people for a 40th birthday party, and the flight was late, and we everyone, obviously not me, but most people were hungover as well, not feeling well. A couple of them got the Montezuma's revenge diarrhea, and so they were dealing with that traveling. But when we got to the airport, people just grabbed cans of Pringles or things, because there was not a lot of food availability in the Mexican airport. And I was hungry, but I was totally fine until I actually got home 3 hours later. And then I had an amazing home cooked meal, ate plenty, did not go low on the calories there, but essentially was able to wait to trust the food and get the food when I wanted it. But what happened with everybody else is when you're on glucose and you're constantly burning glucose for energy, you need to refuel every 2 to 3 hours because your blood sugar goes down and you feel awful, you feel hangry, and your body doesn't know how to tap into those fat stores. So when you're traveling and you have the accelerated keto and you just take back that control and you get to enjoy the foods that you want to enjoy when you have the control over it, and you're not just grabbing those granola bars, grabbing the chips, grabbing whatever is available because you are feeling hangry, you've got a headache, and you don't feel well. So that is where the intermittent fasting, accelerated keto really are helpful with travel. And then when you are able to eat those good meals in the countries where you get to enjoy their cuisine, but you also can trust where the food is coming from. You want to eliminate the sugar, grains, yes, alcohol, and carbs. Why? Only because those are going to cause leaky gut. Those inflame the body. They suppress the immune system. All of these things are going to make you more at risk for getting sick from the food poisoning if you accidentally take it in. Next, you want to focus on that wild animal protein. And I cannot stress this more than ever. And why is that? I'm talking in a couple of weeks about the amyloid proteins that are being tripped up in the body that come from the conventional beef, the chicken, the poultry, pork, and turkey. But those amyloid proteins not only get deposited in your brain and cause Alzheimer's and dementia, but in your tissues and in the rest of your body and wreak havoc on the gut. And what happens is those amyloid proteins can spark the gut pathogens to increase, proliferate, and take over the gut and exacerbate the issues with food poisoning, the salmonella and the E. coli. When you focus on the bison, the lamb, the wild fish, the deer, elk, all of those foods that are grass-fed, grass-finished, you're getting the nutrients that are so dense in those meats compared to the conventional chicken and beef, the healthier fats, but you're also getting the proteins without amyloids. We need to reduce our amyloid burden in the body. The spike protein is producing amyloids in the body. That is why this is more important than ever. So really be careful with what you're eating and the amount of amyloid proteins. You want to stay away from those. And with the vegetables, when you're traveling, be careful about not only if they're being washed with water and that sort of thing, but the sulfur vegetables like the broccoli, the cauliflower, kale, and the cabbage, those could be tripping up your detox pathways, which is going to suppress your immune system, which is going to put you at a higher risk for these food poisoning situations. Same with oxalates. You want to get those out of your diet as well. So those are my tips for Bali Belly and food poisoning. This is something that I have suffered from literally, I would say, all my life. When I first was on my health journey and hit rock bottom, I essentially had botulism in my body, which is a horrible type of food poisoning essentially. And it was these steps in healing my body and reducing the issues with Crohn's and helping with my PCOS and my blood sugar and my adult acne and all of these issues and the heavy metals. It was one thing after another. Well, when you heal the gut and you take care of the gut and you change your diet so you're cleaning it out and sticking to the foods that work with your DNA, doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be on a high-fat ketogenic diet. I'm saying you want to focus on the wild animal protein that's nutrient dense and then fill in with the other foods that are fit with your DNA protocol. But when you add in these supplements, it just is a game changer. It makes things so much easier, makes you feel good. And if you take in something that's a little out of the box for your system with some food poisoning in it, your body's going to recover much faster. If you have any questions, you can always contact me through the free group coaching or leave a comment below. Thank you for joining me today. And I am available if you need to get a protocol put together for you personally. I'm happy to do that. You can contact me directly through my website, sarahbantahealth.com. Join the free group coaching on Telegram with the link below. I teach you on a daily basis with your tips and tools to enhance your health. And you will be a part of that like-minded group to support you on your journey, in addition to truly taking control of your health. The group is amazing. They feed my soul, not just yours. Everyone is so supportive of each other, and we troubleshoot together. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram under Accelerated Health Products, and across 100 channels under Accelerated Health Radio and TV, including YouTube, Stitcher, Pandora, iTunes, or whatever podcast platform you subscribe to. And if you like what you heard today, please hit the subscribe button and share with a few of your friends who may need my help. Join us every week, Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific time and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And you can find my supplements, many of my informational videos and podcasts at sarahbantahealth.com and use coupon WELCOME10 for 10% off site-wide. We also have 2 awesome new supplements coming down the line. Take a look. Accelerated Thyroid should be here by the last week in November. Super excited about that. That will be a game changer for everybody. And Cogniblast, the brain supplement you will not want to be without, is coming soon after that. Thanks again for joining us here on Accelerated Health Radio, and have a great week.